From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network, from Alabama's International University, this is Troy Trojan Vision Midday.
Hello and welcome to Troy Trojan Vision Midday for February 13th, 2018. I'm Lydia Williams. Thank you for joining us. Troy University's Confucius Institute was established to help teach Chinese culture to Alabama residents, and it apparently living up to the goal as it once has been recognized as one of the best Confucius institutes in the world. Adoria Hughes has the story.
The Confucius Institute at Troy has been recognized for its many achievements, being named one of the top Confucius Institutes worldwide.
In 2017, we received the Confucius Institute of the Year in 2017. And, all over the world, there are altogether more than 500 Confucius Institutes. And we are one of the 25 Confucius Institutes that won this honorable prize.
The Confucius Institute provides Chinese language and cultural education and forging economic development opportunities between Alabama and China, as well as cultural training for area businesses and members of the public.
Confucius Institute is an institute for just promoting Chinese culture and providing some non-credit courses to Troy students. Okay, and not only to the Troy students, but also we want to serve the state of Alabama.
The Confucius Institute also offers an exhibit for students who want to learn more about the Chinese culture.
The more people wanted to know about the Confucius Institute, the more they will come to visit our exhibition hall to have all kinds of non-credit course, and the more they will know that in fact the Chinese culture and the American cultures have so many things in common. That is what we want the people to know. We are within a big family, and we share so many things in common, and we can just improve ourselves, okay, through the cultural exchanges.
Adoria Hughes, Troy Vision News.
If you would like to see what Troy University's Confucius Institute has to offer, you can visit the Institute in Bibb Graves Hall. Any Troy students who want to take their studies overseas will have an opportunity to learn the different ways they can this afternoon. There will be a study abroad fair today until 3 in Trojan Center ballrooms. Students will have the chance to meet with facility members, organizing trips overseas, and learn about other ways they can study abroad. It is open to all students who want to know more about study abroad opportunities. Once again, the Study Abroad Fair will be today until 3 in the Trojan Center ballrooms. Troy University's Vietnamese students are many miles away from home, but this Friday, they will get the chance to celebrate one of their home country's biggest holidays. Yolanda Allen got a sneak peek at what the Vietnamese Students Association has in store in the Lunar New Year celebration.
In the month of February, Vietnamese students here at Troy University celebrate their Lunar New Year. The Vietnamese Students Association is putting together an event that they want to share with others.
It means a lot to be with your family, but since we're all here and we're far away from home, so why don't we celebrate this together? So that's the whole meaning of this event, is for Vietnamese students to celebrate with their friends and to share a little bit about our culture to Americans too.
There will be music, dancing, singing, and games, but most importantly, food.
Many Vietnamese cuisine, and one of our favorite would be chicken. Like they're gonna be chicken garlic, which is very tasty, like flavory with the garlic taste.
According to the Vietnamese holiday, color plays an important role.
We really like what you call it, like colorful colors, such as red, yellow, like orange. So we have like lucky money. It's like in a red pocket. So we wear red clothes. We like colorful fruit like watermelon, because we believe it represents the fortune and prosperity of the family stepping into a new year.
The event will take place on Friday, February the 16th at 6:30 p.m. in the Trojan Center Ballroom. Yolanda Allen, Troy Trojan Vision News.
The Vietnamese Lunar New Year celebration will be this Friday at 6:30 in the Trojan Center ballrooms. Tickets can be purchased for the event in the International Programs Office in Hawkins Hall. And now for a look at what's happening across the country and around the world, we go to Kaylin Pleasure at the Global News Desk.
Russian investigators say it could take a week to recover the remains of all 71 people who died in plane crash near Moscow on Sunday. As Tara Okita reports from London, authorities say they're still looking for a cause.
Hundreds of rescue workers fanned out in knee-deep snow to search for remains one day after a regional jet crashed 25 miles from Moscow's Domodedovo airport. All 65 passengers and 6 crew members were killed. Snowmobiles and helicopters are scouring the half-mile crash site near Russia's second busiest airport. Teams have recovered the flight data and voice recorders, but authorities say the crew did not send out any distress signals. This security video shows a huge fireball at the top of the screen just as the plane hits the ground. It was headed to the small city of Orsk, but the AN-148 Saratov Airlines jet, which looked like this one, crashed minutes after takeoff. Investigators have ruled out terrorism, but are looking at all potential causes, including weather and the plane's safety record. Anguished family members and friends are overcome by grief, and the city has declared an official day of mourning. Ekaterina Zakladnaya lost her mother. She says, until the very end, we believed that at least someone would survive. Then they published the list, and Mommy was second from the bottom. That list is now part of a growing memorial where mourners come to lay flowers, stuffed animals, and candles, while Russian soldiers stand guard. Terry Okita, CBS News, London.
President Trump delivered his plans for a 2019 budget to Capitol Hill this morning, and he's moving ahead with a $1.5 trillion infrastructure plan. The plan will be paid for mostly by states and local communities. Mona Linke has more details from the White House.
Boxes of the president's proposed 2019 budget arrived on Capitol Hill and were unveiled for the press early this morning. The $4 trillion budget proposal isn't expected to go far because it projects a $1 trillion deficit. Conservatives on Capitol Hill aren't likely to vote for that, especially after last week's 2018 budget deal added to the deficit.
When you look at $300 billion over a 10-year period, it makes even a drunken sailor blush.
The budget includes $17 billion to fight the opioid epidemic and $23 billion for border security, most of which will go for the border wall. The president's own budget director admitted on Face the Nation conservatives may not like it.
Congressman Mick Mulvaney, would he have voted for this?
Oh, probably not, but keep in mind, I'm not Congressman Mick Mulvaney anymore.
The president is moving ahead today with plans for another major electoral issue, fixing America's roads and bridges.
We will build, we will maintain, and the vast majority of Americans want to see us take care of our infrastructure.
The president is calling for $200 billion in federal spending as part of a $1.5 trillion plan. But most of that is coming from state and local governments and private investments. Mola Lenghi, CBS News, the White House.
And that's your news from across the country and around the world. Now back to you, Lydia.
Coming up on Troy Trojan Vision Midday, the journalism department will be having their annual journalism symposium. We'll learn more in today's Trojan Talk. Plus, it's been really cloudy today. Can we expect any more rain? Ashley will let us know coming up in weather.
Planning the right amount of food is hard. The Guestimator makes it easy. Just tell it who's coming and what's for dinner. Then it tells you how much to make. And yes, it even plans for leftovers. Try it at SaveTheFood.com.
From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network, now your weather on Troy Trojan Vision Midday.
Thanks for staying tuned for your Trojan Vision weather update. I'm Ashley Brown. We've had a rainy weekend. Valentine's Day is tomorrow. Will the weather allow walks in the park, or will the couples be inside watching movies and eating popcorn? I'll let you know right after our current conditions. Currently, if you step outside, you'll see cloudy skies. Our temperature is around 58 degrees. The relative humidity is at 100%. Our pressure is 30.53 inches, and the winds are coming from the northeast at 3 miles per hour. As we look at our daily almanac, we'll see a high of 58 degrees, a low of 52, and no rain, which is good following this weekend. If we look around the state, we'll see mostly cool temperatures. We have some warmer temperatures in our area. Troy and Montgomery is at 58, Dothan is at 62, and Mobile is also at 62. If we look at the southeast as a whole, we'll see similar temperatures, but we have some cooler temperatures like in Dallas at 46 and Tampa at 85. If we look at the entire country, we'll see mostly cool temperatures. The only areas getting the only area getting hot temps are Florida, like Tampa at 85. And tomorrow, we can expect some rain starting in Florida and traveling towards the New England corner. We'll see some snow up in the Pacific Northwest. And by Thursday, that rain will move up closer to the North England corner. That rain will move down into the Rocky Mountain areas. And Friday, we'll see some more rain. And this rain, we might get a little bit of. We have a 20% chance on Friday and also on Saturday. And then we'll start to see some snow and ice forming from that rain. As for tonight, we can expect a cloudy night with a low of 54 degrees and winds coming from the east at 5 miles per hour. And for tomorrow's holiday, we can expect mostly cloudy, a 71-degree high, and the winds will be coming from the east at 5 miles per hour. As we look at the next couple days, again on Friday and Saturday, we will have that 20% chance of rain. Our highs will stay in the 70s, and the lows will fluctuate. We have 59 degrees on Wednesday, 61 Thursday, and then Friday we have a 50-degree low, and Saturday a 48-degree low. So I hope this weather will work with your schedules for tomorrow's holiday.
Or if it doesn't, I'll just stay inside. Thank you, Ashley. Coming up on Troy Trojan Vision News, find out what explosive moment caused the highway in China to be shut down. We have that story after the break. And the women's basketball team went into overtime this weekend against Little Rock. Brianna Jones will have this story coming up in sports.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Troy University was one of the very first in America to really embrace technology and to deliver coursework at a distance. We do a wonderful job in class, but we also are committed to doing that same wonderful job online. What we're there to do is to meet the student where he or she is and to help them reach their potential. Truly, we know our students by name and not by number, and that's what you find at Troy University.
Now, the latest in Trojan sports on Troy Trojan Vision Midday.
Hello and welcome to your Troy Trojan Vision Sports. I'm Carissa Justice. On Saturday morning, there was only one women's basketball team undefeated in Sun Belt Conference play. However, by Saturday afternoon, there were none as the Trojan women's basketball team wrapped up a 3-game homestand by knocking off the top team in the conference. Nick Brooks has the highlights.
Trojan women's basketball team put their 5-game win streak on the line against the top-ranked team in the conference in Little Rock, Arkansas Saturday. Head coach Shanna Rigby talks about the team's confidence needed for the game.
You need it when you have this many young players you're depending on. They can't flinch, they can't be afraid. So the last time we were here after we beat Arkansas State, I saw Michaela and them, they were all saying, we got this next game, and I wondered the same thing. Is it too much? Is it too much confidence?
Guard Harriet Winchester talks about how she prepped for going up against the nation's 3rd best defense.
I really don't prepare for it. It's just I'm in a groove. It's going in.
The Trojan women's basketball team has heated up a weight, defeating their last 6 opponents, with the latest being Little Rock, Arkansas, who was previously 12-0 in Sun Belt Conference play. Guards Harriet Winchester, Kayla Robinson, and forward Skyland Holmes talk about the big 76-70 overtime win.
I think I said the last time that it was going to be easy, so it feels good. It feels good, really good. Yes, sir.
We just beat the #1 team. We could beat everybody else in the rest of the season. And that's what we're going to do. We just knocked off the #1 team, so, I mean, that just feels good to beat a team that's been, 12-0, so it was just a great feeling.
Reigning Sun Belt Player of the Week, Kayla Robinson led all scorers with 18 points and credited the win with this mentality.
Come out as dogs, and that's what we did tonight. We came out as dogs, and we defeated the #1 team in the conference.
The Trojans return to action Thursday when they take on Coastal Carolina on the road. Nick Brooks, Troy, Trojan Vision Sports.
Up next, the women will travel to Conway, South Carolina to take on Coastal Carolina Thursday night. Last Thursday, the men went into overtime against an Arkansas team while the women easily handed their opponent. And on Saturday, those roles were reversed as the Trojans of Troy had very little trouble in dispatching the Trojans of Little Rock. Brianna Jones has the highlights.
Coming off a huge overtime win last Thursday, the Trojans looked to get another win on their record when they hosted Little Rock Saturday evening. The Trojans did get off to a slow start but quickly regained focus. And head coach Phil Cunningham says it takes a lot after just playing a game on Thursday.
I thought there was fatigue on both teams' part this time of the year in league play, particularly when you play on a Thursday, Saturday. That Saturday game is going to be a grind. And I thought again, early on, we showed some fatigue, particularly because we played an overtime game on Thursday. I thought it really showed in West Person. He didn't have, his legs weren't really there tonight.
But even with Person not having the best game, he had a powerhouse from other teammates in his corner. Freshman Javen Johnson hit a three-pointer to tie the game at 18 with just 10 minutes and 9 seconds left on the clock in the first half. Right behind Johnson came junior Jordan Vernado with 23 points, which is his second straight double-double.
Trying to get back in the standings of the conference poll right now. I think we're in the middle of the pack right now, so we just been working hard every day in practice, just going hard, so practice becomes into the game.
But I thought what Jordan Vernado did there toward the end of the first half, the way he stepped his play up really changed the game. He was the best player on the floor. He was the hardest playing player on the floor, and it really gave us that lead that was, I think, was the difference in the game, having that lead at halftime.
Vernado's dominating performance helped the Trojans have a final score of 82-64 over the Little Rock Trojans.
Tip-off for the Coastal Carolina matchup is set for 6:30 Central Time Thursday night. Rain put a damper on the Trojans softball team's season opening tournament. The late games on Saturday and all of Sunday's games were canceled due to rain. However, the Trojans were able to get 3 games in before the weekend deluge. Troy picked up victories against Tennessee State, Alabama State, and Valparaiso to start the season off undefeated. Saturday's game against SIUE and Sunday's game against Tennessee State were canceled due to rain. Up next, the Trojans will welcome the Auburn Tigers to the Trojan Softball Complex Wednesday at 5 p.m. Troy's men's and women's track and field teams took a trip back to Birmingham and came away with 5th and 6th place finishes in the Samford Invitational. Junior Michael Alvarez set a meet and school record of 20.35 meters in the weight throw. That throw also qualified Alvarez for the USA Track and Field Indoor Championships in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Freshman Amir Harris provided the Trojans with the win in the 200-meter dash. Harris finished at 21.51 seconds and broke a 7-year school record set by Peyton McGee in 2011. Up next for the Trojans is the 2018 Sun Belt Indoor Track and Field Championship at the Birmingham Crossplex, February 19th through 20th. So, Lydia, some really big games coming up for our sports team, so let's hope they can all end in wins.
Yes, let's wish them the best of luck. Thank you, Carissa. Troy's Hall School of Journalism and Communication will hold its annual symposium next week. Aaron Taylor learns more about this year's symposium in today's edition of Trojan Talk.
Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. My guest today is Steve Stewart with the Hall School of Journalism and Communication. We're here to talk about this year's Journalism Symposium. Steve, thanks for joining me here today.
Thank you, Aaron. Glad to be here.
And we are talking about the Troy University's Journalism Symposium. So if you will, kind of give us, for those who don't know about it, a little bit of background on symposium and what it means.
The Journalism Symposium is an annual event. We have it during the spring semester every year. It's open to the public, particularly to our students, but everybody's invited. We'd love to encourage everybody who's interested to come. The symposium explores issues related to journalism, politics, and the media, and it's named for Stan Evans, M. Stanton Evans. Stan was one of our longtime faculty members, and he was a nationally prominent journalist.
And so, and through that, you bring traditionally speakers or other individuals to campus to kind of talk about various topics relating to the world of journalism, although, you know, some of the speakers have kind of, you know, over the years have kind of run the gamut of different types of lectures broader here. But this year we're bringing a journalist and an alumnus here to campus. So,
right.
So talk a little about this year's symposium.
Our speaker this year is Craig Pittman, who is an investigative reporter and specifically an environmental reporter for the Tampa Bay Times, which is one of the largest newspapers in Florida. It's a newspaper of national renown, and he covers environment and does investigative work. Has covered the Florida legislature. He is, as you said, a graduate of Troy University. It was Troy State University at the time. Craig was an active student journalist with the Metropolitan, and there was another student newspaper at that time too. He worked with them, and he did some interesting journalism back then, and made a difference in what he did.
And how important is it, in your opinion, to be able to bring an alumnus to campus so students get a chance to kind of see someone that was at their level and has succeeded and moved on to greater things?
I think that's quite important. I think it helps students see the route from where they are here now to success in the field, and it helps them see what they can do here while they're on campus to prepare them for that future career. And what they need to do to prepare includes working for the student media like Craig did with Trojan Vision and the Metropolitan and the Palladium, other student media.
And of course, you know, we talk about the students there, but you did mention that the public is welcome to attend, and so there's a lot that maybe the public would like to know a little bit more about the media and what goes on, especially nowadays. Media is a hot topic out there, and being able to kind of maybe open the curtains a little bit and show us what's going on behind the scenes, maybe something that the public might be interested in as well.
That's right. He's going to talk about something. His topic is how you can be the most destructive force on campus. Now, what he means by that is how you can make a difference as a journalist. And the word destructive is a word that was applied to him by some of his critics when he was a student journalist here. He's obviously, our journalists don't want to be destructive, but we have to tell the truth, and sometimes that causes other people to look at that as being destructive.
And especially, one might say, without getting too political here, that in the current environment, there's a lot of negativity towards the media and whether or not they really are being destructive. And so one might feel that through this symposium, students, public, and everyone might have a better idea of maybe the goal of how to kind of shape that and get into that position.
Right. Journalists want to be constructive in the sense that we want to bring out the truth, whatever that may show, and help people to deal with it and make improvements where necessary. President Harry Truman, this was a political statement, but you could put it in this context without being political. He said, "My critics accuse me of giving people hell." He said, "I'm not giving them hell. I'm just telling the truth, and they think it's hell."
And so, and that's there, talking about destructive, but also, you know, the opportunity for students to kind of see someone, once again, at the professional level who succeeded. And even, you know, I know he probably has the topic laid out about being a destructive journalist, but, you know, seeing someone who is very specific as an environmental journalist, you know, and an opportunity for maybe someone to see how they can maybe fine-tune their journalistic skills, because there are opportunities for students to interact with Pittman while he's here to kind of pick his brain and see where he got it today.
That's correct. We're going to have an event in the afternoon for students where they can come in and talk with him, ask questions, and have an informal discussion. That'll be in addition to the symposium, which is in the morning.
All right, well, let's talk about the symposium, when and where it is for anybody who's interested in going.
The symposium will be in our Student Center, the Trojan Center, at 10 o'clock on Monday, February 19th.
All right.
On the Troy campus.
On the Troy campus, and it is open to the public.
It's open to the public.
Students are welcome. The public is welcome. Journalism students should be there, you know, as part of their coursework, but an opportunity to see an alumnus who has moved on to bigger and better things and be able to teach his lessons to the students here at Troy University. Steve, thanks for joining me here today.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk.
Children have smaller airways than adults, which makes asthma especially serious. Knowing how to treat it and developing an action plan with your child's physician is key to controlling attacks. Here's Kim Hutcherson with today's Health Minute.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's February Vital Signs report focuses on controlling asthma in children. 1 in 12 kids in the U.S. up to age 17 have asthma. That's about 6 million children and teens. Of those, half had one or more attacks in 2016.
It's a major diagnosis in terms of pediatric chronic illnesses.
The CDC says asthma can be considered well controlled if a person exhibits symptoms no more than 2 days a week, if sleep isn't interrupted more than 1 or 2 nights a month, and if normal activities aren't difficult to complete. People with controlled asthma should have no more than 1 attack a year that requires treatment with a pill or liquid. To help manage your child's asthma, make an action plan with your doctor and make sure teachers and caregivers know about it. Learning about asthma and how to manage it could be life-saving. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
An expressway in China had to be temporarily shut down after an overturned truck sparked an enormous explosion. You have to see the video to believe it. Jeremy Roth has today's Take a Look at This.
This is unbelievable. In China, a truck loaded with liquefied natural gas overturned on an expressway and burst into flames. The fireball spread incredibly fast and engulfed not only the vehicles, but trees lining the roadway. 2 people were rushed to a hospital with burn injuries. Several other cars were burned nearby, but those occupants escaped unharmed. Okay, now that we have the scary stuff out of the way, this should put a smile on your face. Cincinnati morning anchor Bob Herzog of WKRC has a pre-show makeup routine, and it has gone viral. Herzog has posted a series of videos of himself getting ready, and viewers are loving it. Probably because the dude is a catchphrase machine.
I should not necessarily be referring to this as just doing my makeup, but rather I am slaying, or I am about to beat that face.
Woo! He offers tips on his technique.
It's like a little dab will do ya, like a mini dollop, a skosh, a smidgen.
He fires back at male viewers who have criticized his regimen.
They're like, he looks exactly the same as he did before, which for me is exactly what I'm trying to do.
He even sang a little ditty about, quote, beating that face.
You take your bronzer, better put it right there. I'm gonna take concealer up into my hair.
Herzog has posted a number of wake-up and makeup videos, and he continues to slay. His videos have garnered millions of views on Facebook. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Well, we are just about out of time, but before we go, we'll get another look at today's weather. Yes, Ashley, what is it looking like for the next few days?
Again, tonight we can expect cloudy skies with a low around 54 degrees and the winds coming from the east at 5 miles per hour. And then tomorrow for the Valentine's holiday, we'll have mostly cloudy skies. I have 71 degrees and the winds coming from the east at 5 miles per hour again. And then for the next couple of days, that Friday and Saturday, we do have that 20% chance of rain. We have some warmer highs this week and then cooler lows. And that's your forecast. Now back to the news desk.
Thanks, Ashley. That's all the time we have for Troy Trojan Vision Midday. For all of us here at Troy Trojan Vision, thanks for joining us. Have a terrific Tuesday.
If you store your guns properly, I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
I won't have to tell so many family members. I'm sorry.
I won't hear as many scary stories.
And I won't have to tell my kids. This isn't a drill.
Please.
Please, do it for us.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always